Hello. What I want to do here is just take a few minutes today to talk about the ET410 course. This, of course, is the textbook that I've chosen for the telecommunications course. And what I want to do really is just concentrate on what we're going to do with this text and your research. I chose this text a few years ago because I really like the way the author approaches the subject. Stephen Shepard uh, did a great job on this book and made it a very readable book. It's more than just a textbook. He shares his experiences, things that have gone on in his life, even his background. He comes from a very unconventional background in telecommunications. So his evolution into the world of telecommunications and IT is an interesting read. He gives a lot of background in here of where the industry has come from and where the industry has gone, and the kinds of things where he has personally it's personally touched him. This book is easy to read. That's why I chose it, because it's not just a textbook. I mean, even though it comes formatted McGraw-Hill as a textbook that says it's a crash course in telecommunications, it's really more than that. And I find it to be an enjoyable read. I've been through it several times in the years that I've been using it, and in the years that that I've had it as the primary textbook for the course. It's good because it gives you a lot of good background. If you've had the telecom courses, which are the prerequisite for ET410, you've gotten a little different approach to telecommunications in being more than just a technical background. This gives you a background really of how the industry has evolved. I mean, phones are not phones anymore. I just recently got me a new iPhone 13. This thing is an amazing phone. It does, it does more than just allow you to talk to your friends and neighbors. Phones today, are more of an entertainment device, just like your computer. Your computer does more than just crunch numbers. Back in the day when the computers were first introduced, personal computers, back in the late 80s, early 90s, the big applications were of course word processing and number crunching on spreadsheets, and maybe the database programs. So you were really limited on what you could do. Some of the lighter computers, like my first computer, the Commodore 64, did have a lot of game-related things on it, but they have evolved very quickly, and of course the sophistication on the computers and the phone platforms have grown considerably. So in this course, using this textbook, I want you to read this textbook and enjoy what the author has to offer. I immediately went out and started researching online to see how many other videos and how many places that the author, Stephen Shepard, has been and recorded. And at the time, I found a lot of very interesting presentations that he gave, very anecdotal and enjoyable to watch and listen to. So hopefully I'll have to go back and check, but hopefully all those links still work, and those videos are still available to you on YouTube. If I find any others that are newer and more applicable to today, then I will of course add those to there. So the idea behind the course, if you've gotten any of the advanced emails that I've gotten, typically this course only has 2, maybe 3 students in it. So it's not rigorous in terms of what you would think of in a normal classroom. It's really pretty much one-on-one, and being asynchronous, you're pretty much on your own. So what I need you to do is to read the book. And enjoy it. Enjoy the read, because the author does a great job. And then use this textbook as part of your source for your papers that you write weekly, and do some exploration, some research on the internet to try to come up with new things that are happening. New things are happening, in the world every day on the internet. Unfortunately, a lot of new bad things happen on the internet every day too that we hear about in the terms of cybersecurity, and that's unfortunate. Hopefully, one day within our life, we will see an internet that's able to get around all that garbage, and people can feel safe again on the internet. Going out and finding things, things that are entertaining and things that are profitable. There's a lot of, things out there, of course, in terms of software and things that make your life easier and profitable. So what I need you to do is to use this textbook to start with. Every week I give you another section. In the end, I give you a little assessment where you answer some of the questions that are really pretty much right out of the book. Think about it, add to what the book has to say, and look what it has to do. And we're going to look at standards and regulations, the basis of telecommunications, data communications protocols, what it takes to make this happen, telephony and the various different types from the old days to today, where we use different and more sophisticated protocols, premises technologies, what our LANs look like, gigabit Ethernet, Wi-Fi, content, multimedia, video, and TV. As I said, this world is more than just phones and internet. Fixed access technologies, including DSL, cable, and the various types. Wireless access technologies, CDMA, GSM. Transport technologies, frame relay, ATM. Those things kind of go back to what you learned in your earlier courses in telecommunications. IP switching, optical networking, IP and IP6. Most everything is moving away from the old version of IP and on IP6. And of course, what we're seeing with our phones is the fifth generation of our phones. IT, telecom, media convergence, cloud technologies. So the idea on this is this covers, like I said, it's 8 or 9 years old now, but it covers information that forms the basis of what we need, in understanding telecommunications as it applies to the world, and it applies to the business world. So you're going to take these topics that I've given you in the textbook, and from that, as your basis, start, to think about what you've read about and what the author has introduced, and go out on a week-by-week basis and do some research on your own to try to find things that have been updated in the last 10 years. What new things are going on. You see my big screen television in the background. It's a few years old. Well, the technology on the big screen TV has really grown, and the resolution is much better. You can get so much more on the internet now in terms of entertainment and content. So there's lots of things out there for you to look at and to think about when you want to do your paper. The papers are going to be written very strictly because, we're writing this at the bachelor's degree level. And my thought on this is getting you thinking in terms of advanced degree level writing. So to start with, I'm usually pretty critical on what I see on content and format. The format has to follow the APA format. And so look at the examples that I give you and think about, writing these not for fluff. I don't want to see, I give you the content, I give you the font size, I give you the layout, everything is in there. I want you to use that. I don't want a bunch of fluff with huge fonts and colorful flowery stuff. I want a professional APA paper when you are writing for this course. So keep those things in mind. So weekly papers are due. You've got assessments that are due on a week-to-week basis, and you will find that we're going to get through this content probably fairly quickly. I fully expect before the semester is over, we'll be done. You'll be looking at Thanksgiving, and for the most part, this course will have been done, and you can stick a fork in it. So I look forward to working with you, seeing you on Canvas, and reading the interesting work you have to offer. Thank you.